What is happening, y'all? Sorry, I'm a few days late. I just got back home from Dallas a few hours ago. It's good to be home. I'm glad I can actually be in the studio and make videos for y'all again. I have a new mic. I have a new camera, a new mixer. I'm actually using my phone right now because for some reason the new camera I bought, when I transfer the videos over to the file on my laptop, it doesn't work. So I'm going to try to figure that out. And I've been trying to figure it out all day. So I'm more used to my phone anyway. So I'm just going to be using my phone for right now. And I reacted to the Bad Boys 4 Bad Boys Ride or Die trailer. And like what I said for my laptop, it didn't have any volume. So I posted a video up just talking about what I thought about it. And I'm excited for that movie. So anyways, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Was it great? Was it bad? Was it better or worse than Godzilla vs. Kong? Because me, I was not a big fan of Godzilla vs. Kong. But anyways, let's talk about it and let's find out. So the Monsterverse is one of those franchises that I like. I'm a huge Godzilla and King Kong fan. I really am. I'm a big fan of the original Godzilla movie from 2014. I really like that film. Kong Skull Island is my favorite. I love Kong Skull Island. Everyone does. The second Godzilla, King of Monsters, I was not the biggest fan of. I liked it, but wasn't the biggest fan, And then we had, was it Godzilla vs. Kong? We had Godzilla vs. Kong, right? Was that next? I think it was Godzilla vs. Kong. I was not the biggest fan of it. I waited 5 years to see it. I was hyped for it. And I watched it on streaming. I did not see it in theaters. And I feel like if I saw it in theaters, I probably would have liked it more, And I watched about one episode of Monarch, and I really liked what I saw. I really did. And now talking about Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. I had an absolute blast with this film. Just like this one and the new Ghostbusters. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan as well. And I love that film. My review's down below. Or on the channel. Go watch it. Like that video. I was excited for this one and Ghostbusters. And I wasn't really like hyped for it, But I ended up loving both. Man. And this one is absolutely goofy and dumb. And it does not take itself serious at all. Maybe some parts it does, like the fight scenes, but other than that, it is a goofy movie, but in a good way, Godzilla and King Kong are awesome in this, like usual. They're wreaking havoc, and the villains are really cool, but I have my issue with them as well. Scar King and Shimo, however you say it, I don't know how you say it. Both of them are really good villains, and in my opinion, I think that they are probably two of the best Monsterverse villains we've gotten. Like, no joke. They were not so much Shimu, but Scar King. He was legit terrifying at moments, I think. But my main problem with mostly Scar King, but as well as Shimu, they weren't fleshed out enough. I don't feel like they were fleshed out enough, and I feel like we needed to see more of these villains so we can learn more about them, Like, I feel like the movie could have been longer. That way, we could see more of these two, Now, y'all are probably asking, were the humans unlikable or likable in this movie? Now, usually when it comes to, and y'all all know, with these type of movies, the Transformers movies, like all those type of movies, mostly those two movies, the human subplot are always boring. This one actually wasn't so bad. Like, I wouldn't say I cared for the characters. I wouldn't say I did, but I mean, I did get bored when they showed up because I was like, I just want Titan fighting action. That's all I want, hence the shirt. New shirt, by the way. I love it. I bought this on Amazon. It came the other day. But no, it wasn't, the human subplot wasn't horrendous. Really. It really wasn't. But I did get bored during those parts because I was like, I don't care. I just want to see Godzilla and King Kong wreaking havoc. That's all anyone wants to see, including myself. Now, we all know the dialogue is not great. The dialogue was not great at all. But, I mean, the humor was great. The humor was actually great. And I have to give credit to Dan Stevens and Brian Tyree Henry. They were making me crack up. There's actually a scene in particular, I won't say what it was. that involves Kong and Suko, the new ape that we see in the trailer, and it is hilarious. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. And it's actually really cool because we get a little bit of lore in this movie. Not a whole bunch, but we get a little bit, and, you know, it's actually really interesting. It really is, and you'll know what I'm talking. You'll see it when you watch the movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but when you sit down and think about it, it's actually really, really interesting. It is, and it involves two particular characters. And like I said, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. I'm not going to say anything. And as far as like the main story goes, we know how these movies go. The movie trope, we know how it goes. The hero's got to stop the villain, and it's a generic story in a way. It really is. But, and I knew what was going to happen. We all did. But, I mean, is the story good? Not really, because there's like two stories going on at the same time. You have Godzilla and Kong trying to stop Shimu and Scar King from taking over Hollow Earth, and you have the humans too, their subplot, and it's kind of messy, but I mean the movie's fun overall. It's fun overall. It really is. And there are no mid-credit or post-credit scenes at all. But I feel like if you are a King Kong, Godzilla fan, Kaiju fan, Monsterverse fan, go watch this movie. It's not a masterpiece or anything. It's not gonna win an Oscar or anything, but it's a fun movie. It's a great movie. I really had fun with it, and I definitely go watch it again. I definitely plan on watching it right now. The big three so far this year for me are Dune Part 2, Ghostbusters, and this one. I enjoyed Ghostbusters too. But it's just a fun time. It's a really fun time. So with that being said, tell me what y'all thought. Did y'all like Godzilla X Kong? Did y'all not like Godzilla X Kong? Did y'all see it? Did y'all not see it? If you haven't, go give it a watch. Especially, like I said, if you're a Godzilla or Kong fan, it's a really fun movie. I had a blast with it. But that'll do it for today's video. I'm going to give Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire a 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I had a blast with it. It's just a good time. It's not anything great. It's not anything like a masterpiece, but it is great in my opinion. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1K before 2025. Letterboxd, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram down below. I love y'all. I love talking about movies with y'all. I love talking about movies in general, and I love spreading my passion with everyone and y'all. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Take care. Happy Easter as well.